That chocolate bar you're giving your kids right now might contain heavy metals linked to brain damage, pesticides banned across Europe, and slave labor hidden behind a cheerful wrapper. I spent 3 weeks investigating UK chocolate brands, and what I found will make you throw out half your pantry. Behind those colourful packages and nostalgic British names are supply chain nightmares, toxic contamination, and exploitation you'd never imagine. In the next 12 minutes, I'll expose 4 chocolate brands that are poisoning families across the UK and reveal the 3 that actually deserve your trust and your money. Number 4. Cadbury Dairy Milk, the purple wrapper, the glass and a half promise, the chocolate your grandmother kept in her handbag. Cadbury built an empire on British trust. That trust is a lie wrapped in nostalgia. In 2021, independent testing by As You Sow, a California-based non-profit, analyzed Cadbury products sold in UK supermarkets. The results were devastating. Cadbury Dairy Milk contained detectable levels of lead and cadmium, heavy metals that accumulate in your body and never leave. Lead damages developing brains. Children are most vulnerable. A single chocolate bar consumed weekly over months can contribute to cognitive impairment, learning disabilities, and behavioral problems. Cadmium attacks your kidneys. The World Health Organization classifies it as a human carcinogen. Long-term exposure causes kidney disease, bone fragmentation, and cancer. These aren't trace amounts you can ignore. The levels detected were concerning enough that As You Sow issued public warnings, but Cadbury never recalled a single bar. They never issued a statement. They just kept selling. Here's where it gets darker. Cadbury sources cocoa primarily from West Africa, specifically Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire. These regions produce 60% of the world's cocoa. They also have the highest rates of child labor in agriculture. A 2020 report by the University of Chicago found that over 1.56 million children work in cocoa production in these countries. Children as young as 5, no school, no childhood, just machetes and pesticide exposure. Cadbury is owned by Mondelez International, a corporation worth over $80 billion. They could afford to pay fair wages, they could verify every farm, they could guarantee no child ever touched their cocoa. They don't, because exploitation is cheaper than ethics. Your dairy milk costs £2 at Tesco. That price only works if someone suffers, but the real betrayal is the recipe change. In 2017, Mondelez quietly reduced cocoa content in dairy milk bars from 26% to 20%. They replaced real cocoa with cheaper vegetable fats and increased sugar. The chocolate you remember from childhood doesn't exist anymore. You're eating a memory mixed with heavy metals and the labor of children. For parents who hand Cadbury to kids thinking it's a harmless treat, you're feeding them lead. For grandparents who've trusted the purple wrapper for 50 years, that trust funded child exploitation. For anyone who paid extra because British heritage felt safer, you paid for marketing, not safety. Drop a comment if Cadbury is in your cupboard right now. Let's see how many families have been eating this without knowing the truth behind that glass and a half. Number 3. Nestlé Milkybar, the white chocolate, the kid in glasses, the wholesome marketing aimed directly at children. Nestlé knows exactly who they're targeting. That's what makes this so sinister. In 2022, Foodwatch, a European consumer protection organization, tested Milkybar products across the UK. Every single sample contained palm oil, not just any palm oil. Palm oil linked to deforestation in Indonesia and Malaysia, rainforests burned to make way for plantations, orangutans losing their habitats, indigenous communities displaced. Also, Nestlé can cut costs on their white chocolate bars marketed to 5-year-olds. But palm oil is just the beginning. Milkybar contains vanillin, an artificial flavoring designed to mimic real vanilla. Real vanilla is expensive. Vanillin is synthetic, created in laboratories using petrochemicals. Studies published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that artificial vanillin can trigger allergic reactions in sensitive individuals, particularly children with developing immune systems, skin rashes, respiratory issues, digestive problems. Your kid's tummy ache after eating chocolate might not be overindulgence. It might be a reaction to synthetic chemicals. Now look at the sugar content. A single 25-gram Milkybar contains 14 grams of sugar. That's over half the bar. The NHS recommends children aged 4–6 consume no more than 19 grams of sugar per day. One Milkybar delivers 74% of that limit. Most kids don't stop at 1. They eat 2–3 throughout the day. You're not giving them a treat. You're giving them a fast track to childhood obesity, type 2 diabetes, and dental decay. Nestlé has a documented history of unethical practices. In the 1970s, they aggressively marketed infant formula in developing countries, contributing to infant deaths when mothers couldn't access clean water for mixing. In 2005, they were sued for using child slavery in their cocoa supply chain. The case went to the US Supreme Court. Nestlé's defense wasn't "we don't use child labor," it was "you can't sue us for what happens in other countries." That's the company behind the smiling kid in glasses. That's who you're trusting with your children's health. Milkybar isn't wholesome. It's deforestation, synthetic chemicals, and obscene sugar levels wrapped in cartoon packaging designed to make kids beg their parents to buy poison. For mothers who chose Milkybar because it seemed gentler than dark chocolate, you chose palm oil and petrochemicals. For kids addicted to the taste, they're addicted to artificial flavoring, not real chocolate. For families who thought white chocolate was safer, you thought wrong. Check the ingredients on that Milkybar wrapper, then check how much of that rainforest is left. One melts in your mouth, the other burns for your convenience. Number 2. Galaxy Smooth Milk. The smooth chocolate, the silky marketing, the brand that positions itself as premium indulgence for adults. Galaxy looks sophisticated. The reality is anything but. In 2023, Mars Incorporated, the parent company of Galaxy, faced a major scandal when UK trading standards found undeclared allergens in multiple Galaxy products, milk traces in supposedly dairy-free varieties, nut contamination in bars labeled nut-free. For people with severe allergies, this isn't an inconvenience, it's life-threatening. Anaphylactic shock doesn't care about smooth marketing or premium positioning. The contamination wasn't accidental, it was systematic. Galaxy produces multiple product lines in the same facilities, shared equipment, shared production lines, inadequate cleaning protocols between batches. When you're processing 500,000 bars per day, thorough decontamination becomes expensive. Mars chose speed over safety. They chose profit over people with allergies who trusted their labels. But here's the deeper problem. Galaxy markets itself as pure indulgence, but independent analysis reveals their milk chocolate contains only 23% cocoa solids. UK regulations require a minimum of 20% to legally call something milk chocolate. Galaxy barely clears that bar. The remaining 77%, sugar, vegetable fats, emulsifiers, and flavoring agents designed to mimic the richness of real chocolate. The primary fat used is palm kernel oil, a cheaper alternative to cocoa butter. It creates that smooth texture Galaxy is famous for, but it comes with consequences. Palm kernel oil is high in saturated fats. A single Galaxy bar contains 8.5 grams of saturated fat. The British Heart Foundation recommends men consume no more than 30 grams per day, women no more than 20 grams. One Galaxy bar delivers 28 to 43% of your daily limit. 3 squares of smooth indulgence, nearly half your daily saturated fat allowance. Then there's the soy lecithin. Every Galaxy bar contains it as an emulsifier. Sounds harmless. Most soy lecithin comes from genetically modified soybeans, heavily treated with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup weed killer. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. Galaxy doesn't disclose whether their soy lecithin is GMO-free or organic. That silence tells you everything. Mars Incorporated has faced multiple lawsuits over the years. In 2016, they were sued for misleading health claims on their products. In 2019, environmental groups challenged their palm oil sourcing practices. In 2023, the allergen scandal. Pattern recognition isn't difficult here. This isn't a company that occasionally makes mistakes. It's a company that systematically prioritizes profit over consumer safety. For adults who chose Galaxy as a sophisticated treat, you're eating barely legal chocolate padded with cheap oils. For people with allergies who trusted the labels, those labels nearly killed you. For health-conscious consumers who thought premium pricing meant premium ingredients, you paid extra for marketing, not quality. Galaxy isn't smooth indulgence, it's calculated deception in a purple wrapper that's coincidentally similar to Cadbury's. Even their branding is derivative. Comment below if you've ever had an allergic reaction to chocolate. Let's see how many of us have been trusting labels that lie. Number 1. Terry's Chocolate Orange, the festive treat, the Christmas tradition, the satisfying smack against the table that breaks it into segments. Terry's Chocolate Orange is nostalgia in a spherical package. It's also the worst offender on this list. In 2024, a joint investigation by The Guardian and environmental watchdog Mighty Earth traced Terry's cocoa supply chain back to farms in Côte d'Ivoire operating in protected forest reserves, illegal deforestation, national parks destroyed for cocoa plantations. The very forests meant to be protected were being cleared for the chocolate you give as a Christmas gift. But deforestation is just the surface. The investigation found evidence of forced labor on supplier farms, adults and children working under coercion, no choice to leave, no fair wages, conditions that meet the international definition of modern slavery. Terry's is owned by Carambar & Co., formerly part of Mondelez. When confronted with the findings, their response was predictable. We're committed to sustainable sourcing and investigating these claims. Translation: we got caught. We'll issue a press release and change nothing. Now let's talk about what's actually in that orange ball. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment. Cocoa mass, sugar, vegetable fats, cocoa butter, whey powder, orange oil, emulsifiers, E442 and E476, flavoring. Those emulsifiers, E442, is ammonium phosphatides derived from rapeseed oil through chemical processing. E476 is polyglycerol polyricinoleate synthesized from castor beans and glycerol. Both are legal. Both are also used in industrial applications outside food. E476 is used in paints and coatings. You're eating paint additives in your Christmas chocolate. The orange flavoring isn't real orange. It's synthetic orange oil combined with artificial flavor compounds designed to trigger your brain's citrus receptors. Real orange essence is expensive and degrades quickly. Synthetic flavoring is cheap and shelf-stable for years. That Terry's chocolate orange you bought in December might have been manufactured 18 months ago. The chocolate has been sitting in warehouses, slowly oxidizing, while the artificial flavoring holds strong because chemicals don't degrade like natural ingredients do. Here's the nutritional nightmare. A full Terry's chocolate orange contains 697 calories, 37 grams of fat, 81 grams of sugar. That's nearly 4 days' worth of recommended sugar intake in a single orange. Most people don't eat the whole thing in one sitting, but they eat 3 or 4 segments, thinking it's harmless. 4 segments contain 22 grams of sugar. The NHS limit for adults is 30 grams per day. You're almost there before dinner. But the real crime is the marketing. Terry's positions itself as a special occasion treat, a festive tradition, something you share with family during holidays. They're selling you forced labor, illegal deforestation, synthetic chemicals, and obscene sugar levels wrapped in nostalgia. They're betting that your childhood memories of smacking that orange against the table will override your concern about what's actually inside. For families who've made Terry's a Christmas tradition for generations, you've been funding deforestation and slavery. For parents who give segments to children as holiday treats, you're normalizing dangerous sugar consumption. For anyone who thought a special occasion chocolate deserved special occasion ethics, Terry's proves that premium positioning doesn't mean premium practices. The orange ball smacks apart easily. So should your trust in this brand. That's 4 brands exposed. From Cadbury's heavy metals and child labor to Nestlé's palm oil and synthetic chemicals, from Galaxy's allergen contamination and barely legal chocolate to Terry's illegal deforestation and forced labor, that's what's been sitting in your pantry, in your Christmas stockings, in your children's lunchboxes. But don't give up on chocolate entirely. 3 UK brands prove it's still possible to make real chocolate. No exploitation, no toxins, no lies, Safe pick 1. Divine Chocolate. Finally, a chocolate brand that doesn't hide. Divine Chocolate was founded in 1998 by Kuapa Koku, a cooperative of cocoa farmers in Ghana, not a corporation pretending to care, actual farmers owning 44% of the company. When you buy Divine, the people who grew the cocoa profit directly from the sale. Revolutionary concept. Every Divine bar is Fairtrade certified. That means farmers receive a guaranteed minimum price above market rates, plus a Fairtrade premium invested back into their communities, schools, clean water, healthcare. Your £3 chocolate bar builds infrastructure in Ghana instead of padding corporate profit margins. Divine sources 100% of their cocoa from Kuapa Koku's 85,000 farmer members. Every single bean is traceable back to specific farms. No child labor, no forced labor, no deforestation. Independent audits verify compliance every year. The results are published on their website. Actual transparency, not marketing promises. Open a Divine bar and smell it. That's real cocoa. No artificial vanilla, no synthetic flavor compounds, just chocolate, sugar, and cocoa butter. The 70% dark chocolate contains exactly that. 70% cocoa mass and butter, 30% sugar, nothing else. No palm oil, no emulsifiers, no chemicals you can't pronounce. The taste is what chocolate should be. Rich, complex, a slight bitterness that balances the sweetness. It doesn't melt instantly into artificial smoothness. It develops on your tongue because there's actual cocoa to develop. This is what Cadbury used to taste like before Mondelez destroyed it. Divine costs £2.50 to £3 per bar, 50 pence more than Dairy Milk. That 50 pence difference, it's the cost of ethics, the cost of knowing no child was harmed, the cost of supporting farmer-owned cooperatives instead of billion-dollar corporations. For families who want chocolate without the guilt, start here. For parents who want to teach children that consumption has consequences, Divine is the lesson. For anyone betrayed by the brands we just exposed, this is how chocolate should be made. Safe pick 2. Green and Black's. Organic Green and Black's started in 1991 when two people decided organic chocolate shouldn't be expensive and exclusive. They wanted real chocolate accessible to regular families. They built a brand on that principle before Cadbury bought them in 2005. Surprisingly, the quality survived the acquisition. Every Green and Black's bar is certified organic by the Soil Association, the UK's strictest organic certifier. No synthetic pesticides, no chemical fertilizers, no GMO ingredients. Every cocoa farm undergoes annual inspection. The standards are higher than EU organic requirements. This isn't a logo for marketing, it's verification you can trust. The cocoa comes from estates in Belize, the Dominican Republic, and Ecuador. Green and Black's maintains long-term partnerships with these farms, some lasting over 20 years. That stability allows farmers to invest in quality and sustainability instead of chasing short-term profits. The chocolate is made in Italy using traditional methods, slow conching, careful tempering, no shortcuts. The 70% dark chocolate takes 24 hours to produce from bean to bar. Mass market brands do it in 4 hours. You can taste the difference. Bite into Green and Black's, and the texture is different. Firm snap, slow melt, flavors that evolve. The 85% dark has notes of red fruit and tobacco. The milk chocolate tastes like actual milk, not sugar and vegetable fat. This is chocolate made by people who understand chocolate, not accountants, optimizing profit margins. The ingredient list is impossibly short. Organic cocoa mass, organic cane sugar, organic cocoa butter, organic vanilla, 4 ingredients. Compare that to Galaxy's list of 15 compounds including multiple emulsifiers and synthetic flavors. Simplicity is what allows the cocoa to actually taste like something. Green and Black's costs £2.80 to £3.50 per bar. Yes, it's more expensive. You're paying for organic certification, ethical farming, and chocolate that's actually chocolate. For consumers tired of being lied to, Green and Black's is honest. For families wanting organic without the premium markup, this is as affordable as real organic gets. For chocolate lovers who remember what chocolate used to taste like, this is it. Safe pick 3. Tony's Chocolonely. The top spot goes to Tony's Chocolonely because they're not just making ethical chocolate. They're trying to destroy the system that allows unethical chocolate to exist. Tony's was founded in 2005 by Dutch journalist Toon van der Koker after investigating child slavery in West African cocoa production. He ate chocolate, turned himself into police for participating in slavery, and when they wouldn't prosecute him, he started a chocolate company to prove it could be done differently. Every Tony's bar is 100% slave-free verified, not fair trade, not organic, slave-free. That's their only non-negotiable. They pay farmers a living income, not just fair trade premiums. A living income means a farmer can afford food, housing, healthcare, and education on their cocoa earnings alone. Tony's calculates this number for each region and pays it, no exceptions. They source from Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire, the same regions supplying Cadbury and Nestlé. The difference? Tony's knows every farmer personally. They maintain direct relationships. They provide interest-free loans for farm improvements. They offer 5-year purchasing contracts so farmers can plan for the future. This is what investment in people looks like, instead of exploitation. The bars themselves are deliberately unequally divided. The chunks are different sizes. It's intentional, a reminder that the chocolate industry is unfairly divided. Some people profit enormously, while others suffer. Tony's won't let you forget that while you're eating, the chocolate is exceptional. The milk chocolate is creamy and complex. The dark chocolate has depth. The flavor combinations, caramel sea salt, pretzel toffee, are creative without being gimmicky. This is serious chocolate, made by serious people trying to fix a broken industry. Tony's costs £3.50 to £4 per bar, the most expensive option. It's also the most impactful. Your purchase directly challenges the business model that allows slavery to persist. For consumers who believe chocolate shouldn't require human suffering, Tony's is non-negotiable. For families who want to teach children about ethical consumption, this is the example. For anyone disgusted by what we exposed about Terry's and Cadbury, Tony's is the antidote. 4 brands, 4 betrayals, 1 industry built on exploitation and lies, from Cadbury's heavy metals and child labor to Nestlé's deforestation and synthetic chemicals, from Galaxy's allergen contamination and fake premium positioning to Terry's forced labor and illegal deforestation. That's what you've been eating, that's what you've been giving your children. But now you know what to avoid and what to trust. Divine chocolate, farmer-owned and transparent, green and black's organic, certified and traditional. Tony's Chocolonely, fighting slavery, 1 bar at a time. Real chocolate still exists, it just takes knowing where to look. Your chocolate bar should be pleasure, not poison. It should be joy, not exploitation. Drop a comment with the chocolate brand in your cupboard right now. Let's see how many made this list. If this video just changed your shopping habits, hit that like button and subscribe for more investigations. We're exposing hidden truths the food industry doesn't want you to know. Now go check your pantry. Your family deserves better than Cadbury's lies and Nestlé's chemicals. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, read the labels, choose wisely,